Oh, it's that week, the one we've all been waiting for. It's BGSU CKS week. This is the Midnight Blue Gold Launchpad. I'm Rocket Ryan Brandt. We're ready to beat those dirty birds from down south.
I am PJ Spiller.
I am Dan Rocket Man Savage.
I'm Nate the Texas Rocket.
And I'm Kyle W.
That's Kyle W. Smith, engineer, producer, extraordinary to you. Dan, sounds like you're turning into Mark Beyer there with the Rocket.
Well, he is getting older, and I feel like I could maybe take his spot if they let you have a keg next to you while mid-broadcast. But
Mr. Brockmeyer.
If not, I'll turn it down.
I thought you were going to say you could take him in an alley. I bet you could. You have the youth to your advantage.
Yeah, no shit.
So, guys, coming off a bye week, but before we get to that, boy, that was a fun podcast last week, the one we recorded back in July. A little Jeopardy, Rocket, Midnight Blue and Gold Launchpad Jeopardy. And Kyle, we can't thank you enough for putting that thing together.
You're welcome. Like I said, I almost quit 3 times, and then I remembered my immense salary as engineer producer. So
yeah,
I kept moving forward.
All those zeros.
That's
came
right.
To mind.
For the free Bush latte that's not lukewarm from the kegerator that doesn't work.
It's now open and airing out, so that's a good thing.
So we heard some feedback in the old mailbag there, Dan, about that Jeopardy podcast. What did you hear from the faith?
I heard if it was your first episode, you might not be returning, but if you know the group, then you had a nice laugh. So there was some folks out there on the message boards that were asking who was that guy that said Akron a few times and may or not have said his buzzer went off before it did, but we relayed the correct information back and said it's okay. He's just a little slow.
No, PJ was playing mind games with you.
I was trying to F with everybody.
I can't wait to get him in like a trivia at a bar and he's just gonna wax us all. But
Right.
Yeah,
He really will.
He's just holding back.
Right. Good feedback, I guess.
Yeah. So, take a look at that Akron game. The homecoming game.
I remember it a little bit.
I was going to say, were you there?
I think
In body.
In body, yeah. In body and spirit, but not mine. I'll say.
Right. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Pat, you got to sit in the front seat of the convertible, and
I know.
what that is a hell of a homecoming parade.
It is.
I don't know if like Bowling Green or the other MAC schools like have a route like that where it goes through a neighborhood. But I was blown away by the support, the amount of like TPS school kids and stuff. Like it was packed.
Yeah, and I mean, more than a couple people knew who we were, which is kind of thrilling, a little bit.
Right.
But the support you talked about, hell, they were handing out free hot dogs. They had five half pan or full pans of hot dogs.
Yeah, the people in the parade were given graces by those that were on the parade route. Like I know the Mullins were handing out apple cider for those that were walking next to the vehicles, like I was. Quite the trek in some cowboy boots, I must say. But no, hell of a time. If only we could get the 15,000 people camping there in Old Orchard over to the stadium for the game, but beggars can't be choosers.
And there was some rather large tailgates going on in people's yards.
Oh yes, there were. The back patio furniture was out on the street.
Right.
I think next time we'll bring a little bit more candy. Man, I thought we had enough.
We didn't even make it halfway.
Not even close. But no, awesome time. Hopefully we get to do it again next year, and can't complain. The weather was perfect. I mean, hell of a day.
And if anybody out there listening wants to join us in next year's parade, we can make that happen.
Let's get a limo next year. We can really stuff them in there.
Convertible limo, more than just the granddaughters.
Yeah. No, what a time.
Good time.
Best I can do is a trailer behind my truck.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
There you go.
We could build a little float. In other words, meaning 2 wooden benches.
Yeah, we'll get right on it.
Yeah. No, I'll buy them at Home Depot.
Oh, good enough.
Yeah, I remember in high school for our homecoming parade, it was Spirit Week. It was for a Sandusky game. And, we went out to my buddy who was a farmer. We made a trailer, and we had spray paints, purple spray paint on white poster board. And Drew Chambers, Drew Chambers, their hat.
Yeah.
He made a stick figure, little giant, and then next to a hay bale, he put "Hey, HAY, go team," and we all won like $17. All like 5 of us for being the best float in the parade. So
That'll get you out of a couple jams right there.
oh yeah, at least
That was a lot of cakes back then.
or at least buy me a 30-pack of Busch Latte.
Right. Before we really get into the game, we did have a bye week this week, and it was chaos across the landscape of college football. Nate, as someone that got to sit down and watch every game without having to stress a Rockets game, kind of what did you see? Like, what do we got going on around Toledo before we dive into what transpired on the field last week?
Yeah, I mean, in the MAC alone, I mean, Akron over CMU, I think that was a pretty surprising one. I did not see that coming. And same with Ball State over Ohio. I mean, I consider
That's
that
just stupid.
that hits you in the heart. Sorry.
That's why we should have gone to the Big West right there.
Yeah,
The Big West.
No, the Mountain West. I'm sorry.
1978?
No, that would have been in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, Mountain West is what I was thinking. I'm so fired up about it, I can't even get my conferences right.
Conference confusion.
Yes.
My one takeaway I took is that we need to schedule James Franklin on the schedule from now on. Like, he just chokes so many games. He's the perfect big game to play. We get brownie points in Penn State, and we'll probably beat them. So you just start.
Now's the time.
Yeah, you just start scheduling Penn State.
Let's get on that, Brian Blair.
The overarching theme here is, I thought Toledo was the only team that lost road games. Apparently, it's pretty freaking hard in this conference. For one, obviously, Ohio takes the loss in their pod mate Ball State, but UCLA takes down James Franklin, a guy that never loses the little games. He just can't win the big one. Wrong.
Right.
Arch Manning takes Texas into Florida. What happened? I thought Jason Candle was the only one that lost road games, guys. What? I must
or games they shouldn't lose.
Incredible.
I will say Texas. I saw that, and the Swamp is a pretty hostile environment, and Arch has not looked good from the beginning of the season. So it didn't surprise me a whole lot. I mean,
Florida also had Tebow picking for them, so they had Tebow on their side.
Tebow on their side, yeah.
Tebow and the Lord.
But yeah, I mean, definitely a fun weekend just to sit and watch some games, and you never know. Week to week, you never know what you're going to get. So Toledo, honestly, though, as far as MAC standings, 1-1 in the MAC, sitting technically 5th. But there's a lot of teams that are 1-0 right now. Just not a lot of MAC games played.
Mm-hmm.
So they're behind technically Buffalo, Western Michigan, Ball State, Miami. I mean, again, we hold our own destiny in the MAC, so there's nothing to worry about there being 5th right now.
Right, and Ohio losing really helped us because we didn't play them, so there was a chance that they could have blocked us out.
Yep.
They took an L to Ball State. That makes me a little bit more scared of Ball State. They're the last home game of the year, but just you gotta cool, like, early in the year, September, early October. Just relax, everything will fall into place. Akron, their quarterback Ben Finley did play against the Chips, so he did not play against us.
Right.
He means a lot to that team. But it just shows, like, man, if we're dominating teams, 45-3.
Did we have any info on why he didn't play against us?
I have no idea. I watched the replay. They didn't say shit on the broadcast.
I think he was scared. That's right.
Okay.
Oh,
checks out.
Technical reasons.
And then to see that a team like Ohio is, what's it called when you can, like, die? You're like, not moral, but like
you're dead.
No, like you have the possibility of dying.
Mortal.
Like
Mortal.
Yeah, you're mortal.
Yeah, you're one letter off.
Yeah, I was very close.
You need
Ohio.
You need that tea that Eddie George has been stealing.
Well, we have that tea that Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. Never mind. You get it. We'll get to that as we preview Bowling Green. But Bowling Green lost to that mortal Ohio team, and then Ohio goes and loses. It might be us in Western Michigan that are just frankly way above the rest.
Yeah.
and
you're right
we
there.
don't know until the rest of the schedule transpires. So that's what I hope happens. I hope that it's just like we only lost a game because that was the only other good team in the league, but we got to bring it this week. But backtracking to homecoming, Ryan, there was an injury that happened that scared the living bejesus out of all of us. Kind of tell me how you remember that going down on the field and like what that did to your psyche, because it kind of rattled me.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see a kid go down like that on a simple run play, and wasn't like he was diving for anything, or it was just one of those things where you hope and pray that he'd be okay and all that.
And supposedly he is okay.
Yeah, he went home that night.
Yeah, they took him to the hospital as a precaution. He kind of just got his bell rung and was knocked out.
Yeah, he was unconscious.
No neck injury. So obviously we got the 7-day concussion protocol. I don't know if he'll be available for Bowling Green or not.
I don't think so.
Caleb Osborne might be number 2 on the depth chart this week, but
yeah,
just great to see that Jar is doing all right, because that was a scary moment. I mean, we were so late getting back into the game from halftime that like Tucker came back and it was like the first play. Like, wow, we only missed like 4 minutes for the second half, and we
were out there for an hour.
But then going back and rewatching the hit, like it wasn't even a crazy hit, just like bang.
Was it his head off the turf maybe that caused it?
He just got crunched. He kind of like got hit awkwardly. He got hit from the back. It was nothing malicious at all.
Yeah. And
there was shoulder to helmet contact, but it wasn't much. And then all of a sudden he kind of went limp on the field, and they brought in the ambulances. Unlike last year against Eastern Michigan, they did not lose the keys to the ambulance on the field so they could get him out where he needed to be. But
I mean, honestly, huge shout out to the training staff and paramedics, because as a fan, they prepare for the worst. So they're going through their procedures and what they need to check off, and they're being extremely careful. But you as a fan, you're expecting the worst. Yeah. But huge shout out to them. They did a great job.
And they even brought Jar's family down there, and they showed him on TV, looking obviously very concerned, but
his dad, Jack, is a friend of the program, has been on the bus, and
yes,
nothing but well wishes for the family.
Yep.
All of them.
As far as the game goes, Akron was not much of a fight. They kind of rolled over very quickly. Another fast start for the Rockets, and man, when Toledo's good, man, we look really, really good.
Oh my gosh,
right.
I mean, you're looking.
I mean, they go ahead, Ryan.
I'm sorry. 245 yards net rushing, 6.6 yards a pop. Their quarterbacks, all three of them combined, 20 of 24, 293 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, what more can you ask as a complete offensive team? And then on the defensive side of the ball, holding Akron to an average of 1.6 yards a carry, 55 net yards. I mean, that there is some dominating stuff.
I saw a lot of excitement around Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, about Osborne getting in, and people liked what they saw.
He's very Daquan Finn 2.0.
Yeah, but better decisions.
Yeah, no, not as many mistakes, at least so far when we've seen him in mop-up duty. I think the most glaring stat to me was, like you said there, just how we stopped him running the ball. Gant is probably going to be an all-MAC running back. He had 160 yards rushing this week against CMU. We held him to like 27 yards or something.
Actually, you know what? I got the stats right here in front of me. Hold on, I'm sorry. I thought I had them right in front of me. No, yeah. 13 carries, 22 yards. Yeah, 1.7 yards a carry.
And that guy has had 3 100-plus yard rushing games. I mean, this rush defense has been phenomenal through the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, in fact, I think before the bye week, we were number 5 in the nation overall defense.
Yep, and we're going to be right there again. We got to keep it up against Bowling Green. Do you guys have anything else really to add before we get into our players of the game? It kind of was a snoozer after the first half, and then obviously talking about the injury there to Jar.
Right.
I'm sure he's going to be player of the game for some of us, but huge shout out to Gleason. Great rebound game.
Yeah, when he's on, he is on.
He took it on the chin the week before with a lot of flack and came out and got business done. So big shout out to him.
Yeah, 16 and 19. That's pretty efficient.
Yeah.
And he has 2 rushes for 37 yards and a touchdown on the ground. We've kind of been waiting for him to do that as well. Just so impressive to see. He gets rattled in game, but you give him like a few hours off and he comes back and he's a whole new guy. We're going to need that this week against Bowling Green for sure. Out kick off players of the game on offense. Make it easy. Tucker Gleason. Great bounce back game. Let's keep it rolling.
I'm going to go with the same thing, Tucker. Congrats on a good bounce back game.
I gave my shout out, so I'm going to switch it up and do Vanderos. 9 receptions, 122 for 2 touchdowns. It's a great day.
I was, weighing back and forth between both of those guys.
And I agree with you, Kyle. That's my guy, Junior Vanderos the third.
I'll switch it up. I'll give it to Trainum. He's just been a consistent back for us, and it's nice to see. 75 yards. I know he didn't have the 100, but he didn't have to play the whole game. So on 11 carries, 75 yards and a touchdown, I'll give it to Trainum.
Okay.
Defensively, I'm going to go Malachi Davis. He was only listed with 0.5 of a sack. The one sack I saw on replay, seemed like it was pretty much all him. Our tackle for loss stats via ESPN don't make sense. We were in the backfield like almost every single play. How we ended up with like 2.5 tackles for loss is beyond me. When on the thing it says like Akron rush loss for 3 yards. So whatever. Malachi Davis, he's really coming on strong on the defensive line.
I'm going to take the easy way out, and I'm going to give it to the whole defense. I can't really pinpoint any one person in that game because the starters were in for such a short period. And then, I was considering like some of the second stringers had a great game, for the little bit they were in. But I'm going to go with the whole D.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. It was kind of like split up to where everybody had like 3 solo tackles or 3 assists. Like it was just a team defense. I'll give it to Peters, though. 3 tackles, 1 sack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's coming on a little bit lately.
I'm going to go with your guy, Malachi Davis. Or I'm sorry, Malachi. I'm just kidding. I was thinking the Malachi brothers on my microphone's not even working. Why am I talking into it? I was thinking of the Happy Days episode with the Malachi Crunch. So maybe we'll have to call it the Malachi Crunch.
And for those of you who have no idea what Happy Days is, it was a show back in the 70s.
Well, most of the old people listen to this show.
It's where Fonzie and Mork and Mindy came from. And
I give Malachi Davis an 8.
Hey. That's your new thing for the player of the game. He gets a big A from me.
Get a leather UT jacket.
Yeah, it was a big deal when it went from cloth to a leather jacket.
That's right. They didn't want some hood and a leather jacket.
All right, enough with the TV talk.
You got
tonight you're on TV talk.
I'm going same as Pat. I mean, listen, the defense has been the rock all year this year. Just the whole defense, just a group effort. So just the whole thing.
Yep, and then special teams. I do think that there is a player worthy this week.
Mm-hmm.
We might all agree. Bryson Hammer.
Absolutely.
Akron's
Hammer time.
Dumb. They kicked to our up back on the first kickoff. And who was that up back? Bryson Hammer, 52 yards. And then he had three returns punting for 43 yards, so like a 10-plus yard average. Advice for any team playing us, don't kick to Bryson Hammer. You'd have much more luck with Rudolph. Oh, I mean, yeah, kick to him. He sucks.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Everybody, is this consensus or was someone going?
Yeah, I've got you. Hammer.
Okay. All right. Now that transitions us into Bowling Green week, and I will pair that transition with something that we just talked about with the defense, having a lot of different guys playing. One thing that scares me about this game is that we've had a lot of one half where our offensive defenses, our starters have played. And we saw that after Morgan State and Western Kentucky, we went and had to play a full game against Western Michigan and we ran out of gas. Is that going to be a problem against Bowling Green? Even after a bye week, that's another 2 weeks in a row where we don't have a lot of game time. Like, do we have our wind with us? Are we all right?
I think so. I think we're going to be okay. If the seniors and the coaching staff can't get the rest of the team up for this game, like we were talking before the show about BG seeming to to want it more, or that's the image they're portraying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if the seniors and the coaches can't get this team up for this game, and everybody have 1,000 milligrams of adrenaline running through their veins, then it's on them.
Okay, this game, this series is about as close as you can get. Toledo leads BG 43-42 with 4 ties, but the Rockets have won 12 of the last 15. This will be the 90th meeting between the two schools, and they're separated officially by a mere 26 miles. Not quite a marathon. That's 26.2, but it's close. And it first been on the gridiron back in 1919. And for the 14th time, the winner will hoist the dreaded Battle of I-75 trophy, which I think replaced the was peace pipe we used to have.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of transpiring and conversation about us needing to get rid of that Battle of I-75 trophy because, after all, we're really only 23 miles away on I-75, and I-75 is a very, very long road. So what else could we call it? I've seen Black Swamp. I've seen a couple other names thrown around. All I care about is if you're going to change the name, do it after we win it back and we can store it in the Larimer complex right next to that peace pipe where we have that thing forever.
Yeah.
It needs to come back to its rightful owner. It sucks trading off with Bowling Green these past few years.
And it must stop.
Yeah. It must stop here.
Right.
Yeah, and from the chirping we're hearing on the bulletin boards and social media, and even from the players and coaches from BG, they're going to be up for this game.
They always are. Eddie George understands the memo there. He's really there for one thing. They don't care if you go 5-7 as a head coach. You got to beat Toledo. He said that this is a top 5 rivalry in the sport, which I guess I don't disagree. But when you listen to Jason Candle, it's a lot of coach speak. So hopefully this team, if it's not from the coaching staff, if we're even keel, in the locker room, the team can generate enough emotion on the sidelines where if we're down by a touchdown or we score first, we can get amped up and keep it rolling on the field because Bowling Green's not going to need much external energy to push them through this game, and they're going to have a lot of it down at the Doit, probably their first sellout in about a millennia against the Rockets.
And that UT marching bands can be allowed to play down there because that's how classy Bowling Green is. There was Tyler Segerman. I saw Dan Savage got on his Facebook post today and talking about the fake outrage from last year. And you know what? I love that we did that. I mean, that could be the thing that finally got Bowling Green fans to get a little pissed off about this rivalry. They care more about
so classy. It's crazy. We are on tiny little horses here in Toledo, and they rise above the stench of Lucas County, and them folks down in Wood County are very moral.
Yes.
And I'm going to throw the T back in from earlier. They are mortal as well. I can't wait for the Rockets to show them what we're made of down there in Wood County. So I'm going to go through some players to get notified about there for the wearing, I believe, all orange Falcons and their LT helmets.
Lose to Toledo.
Lose to Toledo helmets, the old school logo, which I do actually like there for the Falcons.
Yeah, it reminds me of Brian McClure back in those days.
Yeah. Drew Pine, the quarterback. He's got the talent. He really does. He's gotten worse every year he's played in college football, but he's got 4 touchdowns and 5 picks. 800 plus yards
in 5 games.
And Tucker's got 900 and some, but Tucker's only played like 7 halves. So it shows you that there's a lot more to be desired there through the air for Bowling Green. But when they're on, they do look pretty decent. If it wasn't for Pine throwing the ball into the second row of the stands when he's got guys wide open, Bowling Green might have a better record.
From his attempts that I've seen, it seems like Eddie George has really committed to the run this year.
Yep. That was going to be part of my my breakdown here. But
okay.
Pat's stealing my line.
I'll let you get into it.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying.
No, seriously, guys.
No, really.
Way to know your stuff, Pat.
Before we get into that, though, I'm supposed to tell this former reporter that Falcons fans are really pining for Drew to get better. It's what I've heard. That's all.
He's got a punch in the gut.
Well, Bowling Green's backup has played in a few he's not playing as the backup. They're putting in packages for their backup or like fourth down plays. He's a runner and he likes to go that, offense sways one way and the quarterback runs out the other. He had a long 75-yard touchdown against Louisville. He's a guy that if we see in the backfield, we got to get ready to tackle because their backup lengthy athlete is very impressive on the ground. But getting to that run game for Bowling Green, Chris McMillan's been their best running back, averaging 4.9 yards per carry. He has 226 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Decent. He's a junior. And they got a freshman, Cameron Petaway, who's also been pretty decent on the ground, 5.1 yard average, 194 total yards. And then they have another running back, Kadarius Roberts, who's a senior, who has 183 total yards, a 5.4 yard average, and he is the only player on their team with a receiving touchdown that is not a tight end. So that's a guy you got to watch from out of the backfield. Like you said, they only have 4 passing touchdowns on the year. So, RJ Garcia II. Now, he is a guy that I thought was maybe going to play against Toledo last year. He was probably their best wide receiver, but he had a season-ending injury for them. He leads the team in receiving with 168 yards on 17 receptions. Finn Hogan, big, tall wide receiver for them. He only's got 11 receptions this year. He's a guy to get familiar with. He's had a few touchdowns against the Rockets in the past. And then getting to their tight ends, Jiron Johnson, 12 receptions, 164 yards, a touchdown. He dominated Louisville and Cincinnati. I think he had 6 receptions each. Anytime Bowling Green needed an out to get out of crunch, they found him. He is a freaking athlete. He looks like the next Harold Fannin. He's going to be the number 1 guy that Toledo has to defend. And then pretty cool, their other tight end, sophomore, Jacob Harris, the son of Josh Harris.
Wow.
Ex-Bowling Green quarterback. He's got 2 touchdowns this year on 8 receptions, another tight end there. So
nice.
Bowling Green really does use their tight ends. Something that we kind of wish that Toledo was using a little bit more.
Right.
But if you look at the rest of their stats, they don't have a guy that touches Junior Vandeross and his 6 touchdowns. So I still think we have the better wide receiver room. And then on the defense, Gideon Lampron, he's a kind of an undersized linebacker. He's only about 220 pounds. He's 6 foot. He leads the team in tackles. He's got 1.5 sacks. Khalil Pascal, he's got an interception, a forced fumble. I think he's got 20 solo tackles. Eddie George's son is there on the D-line as an end. Eric George, 6'3", 285 pounds, big dude. And then the number 1 guy who then Jason Candle mentioned in his press conference was number 7 on defense. He's a defensive end. David Afogo, 6'3", 245 pounds, 1.5 sacks. He's very athletic. He's the guy that contains on a lot of, when other teams try to do misdirection. So get used to hearing number 7's name called a lot for the Bowling Green defense. But other than that, that's kind of what we're looking at for Bowling Green studs. And with their competition level of playing Cincinnati and Louisville and Liberty, outside of Lafayette, like their stats accumulate accordingly to how good they are because they've played every freaking game. Toledo's got a million guys with tackles because we got redshirt freshmen playing. So don't be shocked to see some other MAC teams, Bowling Green included, with a few more names on the all-MAC teams when the season is over just because they've accumulated more stats and Toledo's running over folks and throwing in the backups. But that's all I got.
And Kyle,
let's talk
a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about that commitment to the run.
Yeah, so shocking headline, former legendary running back wants to run the ball. And that's exactly what they try to do. But as we alluded to earlier, holding Akron to their top running back to literally 22 yards, I have a good feeling with their defense, we're going to maybe shut down those plans early and force them to maybe go to plan B that they're not comfortable with. On defense, they run a nickel, from what I can tell. Not a lot of info online because first-year coach, but basically like a 3-3-5. They like to have speed on the field. It's nice the fact that we've had a consistent running game. So maybe we can lean on that a little bit more. May not be as high in scoring as we want, but I could see a win here.
Yeah, I can see the win. I can't see the 10.5 point spread. that this game has never really been about blowouts.
No.
I think these teams are pretty evenly matched this year, with us being a bit ahead. But
Yeah.
I see it being a close game.
Yeah, I think their offense is a little bit behind where they were last year, with the other a millionth year starting quarterback they had.
Yeah.
And then obviously the likes of Harold Fannin Jr. and Terrion Stewart, who's honestly like their best running back they've had there in 10 years. Now the young guys I could see being playmakers here in the years to come. I don't think McMillan and Petaway really scare us that much compared to what we've seen, especially there in Kentucky. And then Drew Pine, not super mobile, but he can scramble a little bit. But like I said, he's made a lot of mistakes. Now they're coming off a bye week, so they obviously want to fix themselves before they look towards Toledo. And hopefully we have done the same with our offense and defense.
On our bye week.
Yeah, tackle the things that have been our slight bugaboos. Are you guys losing me on audio?
No.
Okay. Maybe I'm having a stroke in my ear.
An ear stroke.
Stroke in
your watching their tapes, I noticed that a lot of teams used a lot of screens against them. Their cornerbacks are not the best at tackling. Like the bubble screen has really worked, and a lot of broken tackles on the first level of the defense. So I think Toledo needs to hit that hard and see if we can make any headway there, and really got to defend the tight ends. These are guys that on 3rd and 18 will bail you out, and that really can kill a defense after what seems to be a good start to a defensive possession. So,
well, it seems like we have a solid linebacking crew this year that they can cover and they can pass rush. So hopefully we can, if they do start relying solely on their tight ends, we can handle that.
Yeah, this is probably the only team that we've played that really relies on the tight ends that much. So it's going to be a new challenge. Obviously, every week there's someone different on the schedule that can pose a different problem for you. And
sure,
for me, the tight end room for them is kind of what I'm looking at the most.
Maybe I'm being a little optimistic here, but I think we win by 14. Like I don't know. I haven't seen anything out of BG. I didn't get to watch the Ohio game. I watched them a little bit of the Louisville and the Cincinnati, and I don't know. I just haven't seen anything out of Bowling Green this year that scares me. So maybe, and especially the way our defense has played this year. If Toledo doesn't win this game, I'll be extremely disappointed.
Yeah, the season will be over as far as I'm concerned if we lose this game.
Yeah. Right.
One thing that, offensively and defensively, no, they're not as good as the Rockets have been to this point. But special teams, they're top 25 in the country in efficiency. And they've got 2 returners that are very good in the kicking game. We've got to be careful. I'll get to that as one of my keys to the game. Their kicker's pretty good. Obviously, we have a pretty good one ourselves, but small bites at the apple can make a rivalry game really matter. And if they got 12 points, sometimes that's all you need.
I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of the special teams, not only in this game or any other college game, in the pros and even high school. Field position is so important,
right.
And it's noticeable when you have a crappy punter or a good punter. And it makes a big difference. I don't think a lot of credit is given to the special teams.
No, you're right. And one thing that we've done remarkably well, better than I can ever remember, is kicking the ball out of the end zone on kickoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
We have not given hardly any opportunities for teams to run it back on us, but it's probably going to be windy down there at Dirt Shitty Stadium. So maybe 2 of the quarters we're going to be going the way you can't get it out of the end zone. We've got to wrap up and tackle. And that is honestly my first key of the game. Special teams, you've got to tackle. They might get it out to the 35-yard line. Trust the defense will be fine, but you can't let any big plays happen in the special teams area.
And let's give a shout out to our guy that kicks off, because he's doing a great job. And that would be, I just said his name. It's Brennan, right? No, the hell's kicking
Hello.
off first? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Longfoot McGee?
So yeah, it's not Canaan, our place kicker.
No, he's just a specialty long kicker.
So that would be Robert Hammond.
Hammond.
Transfer from Florida Atlantic.
Which Toledo had a penalty before the kickoff, and he touched back like from the 20 or like it was kind of wild to see.
Well, that's a good point. I said we were going to have 3 penalties against Akron. We were trending down. Well, we hit that bottom mark of 5 and jumped back up to 7. So we do not want to see 9 penalties this week and start going the other way. But back to you, Kyle.
No, it's just an impressive kick. I mean, we thought maybe they're going to start in good field position, and he just knocked it out of the end zone. It was a cool kick to see.
It's pretty impressive. Anybody else got keys to the game? We go around the horn.
We just got to get off to a fast start. I mean, that's been our MO this year for success. We haven't done that. We lost our 2 games. So, just got to get out, not mess around.
Yep, we lost you there at the end, Ryan.
From there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it.
My only key to the game is which Tucker Gleason is going to show up. I'm confident in our defense and what they can do. I'm confident in our running game. I'm confident in our receivers, but I just want to see which Tucker's going to show up.
Yeah, that drives home my point. Tucker has been known to put the ball on the turf. And luckily for the Rockets, we've recovered most of them this year, whether it's him getting hit behind and, Johnny on the spot, a tight end jumps on it. Tucker just cannot fumble the ball in this game. That's huge. I think if everything stays pat and the turnover margin is even, I really like our chances there on offense. Obviously, the special teams, little tidbit. And then on defense, another thing that kind of was a bugaboo against both Kentucky and Western Michigan, you cannot extend drives with penalties. Now, if you save a touchdown by hacking a guy so he can't catch it, a pass interference every once in a while is probably forgivable. But we can't do the late hit over the middle that turns the
cheap crap,
a 4th and 10 into an automatic first down. Bowling Green's energy is going to thrive on stupid penalties by Toledo, so just got to stay clean on defense.
Yeah, I just have one key to the game. It's strictly offense. I trust the defense like everyone else has said, but I want to see them score early. But when we get into the meat of the game, get some longer drives, give the defense a break.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just eat that clock.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nate, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you. Just Gleason, as long as you get a good showing out of him, I think we'll be just fine.
Okay.
I also hope that if we're advantageous enough to get up by like 28 points, let's keep the starters in a little bit longer.
Let's keep the foot on the pedal.
And let's let Eddie George know what this rivalry is about. I can't wait for their students to be leaving at halftime early and only 6,000 Rocket fans left over to rush the field once again down there.
And they'll be hanging their heads, not only from vomiting, but, just hanging their heads at the loss.
There will be vomit. I promise there will be vomit down there. I'm ready for a score prediction.
Yeah, let's roll.
I'll start it off. I think the line opened at about 7. It jumped all the way up to 10.5. I think it's sitting at 9.5 right now. I want to cover, but Jason Candle has a favorite on the road. I think he's 2 of his last 11 covering. I've got a 30-23 Rockets win. It might be comfortable for a second, but I imagine Bowling Green keeps it pretty close. Even if it's not for a win, they're just like kicking a field goal with 18 seconds left just to make it respectable. And Bowling Green climbs inside that number, but Toledo walks away with a victory.
All right. I am going for a little bit of a lower scoring game. I'm going to go going to have a Donnybrook. I think we're going to end up with a 19 to 13 score.
Yuck.
Wow.
Well, I hope for all of our sake watching in the stadium that's not the score, but if we win, I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same as Pat, you're a 4-point, right?
Yeah.
Or no,
5 point.
quick math here.
6.
No,
Jesus
6.
Christ,
Jesus
guys.
God.
But
Toledo education's at work there, folks.
we math
going
good.
well.
Goodly.
I'm gonna do 28-24 Toledo.
Good old fashioned good one. I'm, coming into this podcast, I was actually thinking, I'm going to predict a Rockets loss. But after hearing you guys, I'm all fired up. Rockets are going to pull this one out. Your final score 17-7.
Okay.
I'm the odd man out here. If I was in a state that could bet, I'd take them cover the spread of 10.5 right now, and I'd take the over 49.5. I'm gonna say 38-14 Rockets win.
Ooh, that would be sweet,
That
sweet
would be
victory.
sweet victory.
Yeah.
And if you can't make it down to Ding Dong whatever stadium, head out to Whiskey Red Saloon. Game will be on noon on ESPNU. It's not the most pleasant drive down 75. I don't blame you if you don't want to get down there. So Whiskey Red will have the game on for you. And get yourself a nice beer and sit back, relax, and watch a Rockets victory.
Yes, what Dan said. I hate dead air, so I had to throw something in there.
Yeah, you had to break it up. Break up the nuance.
Nate, do you have a recent bowl projections from ESPN on your
I do.
laptop there?
I do. So I'm going to do the bowl projections, and then I want a little spiciness for the macro.
Okay.
Wow.
So bowl projections, I actually like these matchups. Still the same bowls it's kind of been. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Toledo versus Fresno State, and then this is my matchup I like. Still the Boca Raton Bowl,
Yes.
but Cincy versus Toledo. I like that matchup.
Cincy?
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a nice matchup.
Yeah.
it'd be fun. In state, kind of get at each
Yeah.
other. That'd be kind of fun.
And we can both tag along and say that we both beat Bowling Green this year. That would be sweet.
Okay, here's my little bit of a riff with the MAC. Okay, obviously it's a 12-team playoff now. Group of 5 kind of gets a spot. They get a seat at the table as long as they have a decent season, pretty much. Right now in the American, there's 5 teams that still have a shot at a playoff berth. The Mountain West, you got 3 teams realistically that have a shot at the playoff berth. Kentucky, Western Kentucky in the Conference USA is 5-1.
They
They
suck.
lost to us. I don't know if I can really count them, but with their 5-1 record, they're not out, I guess you could say.
They still play LSU as well, so they
Yeah.
could technically win that game.
So I guess, my rift is, what is the MAC? Where are we slipping up in the MAC to where we don't really have a contender for that spot right now? Toledo, record-wise, is technically the best with 3-2. But what's going on? Is it a scheduling? Are we scheduling teams that are just, not allowing us to have the records, or what do you guys think it is?
So I think last year we had every daggone right to run the table after beating the shit out of Mississippi State, and then we lay an egg in Western Kentucky. I mean, we would have run the table last year. Maybe had just one loss.
Yeah.
We would have had a chance. But I don't know. I mean, it just seems like, we beat up on each other in the MAC, and, games that you shouldn't lose, you lose. Like, take OU at Ball State, us against Western Michigan. Games that we definitely had in hand, and we let it slip through our fingers. And really, I that's just my opinion. What about you guys?
Well, there's too many teams in the MAC taking bye games. Kent State plays Oklahoma and Georgia and all these teams. I mean, even OU, who's lucky enough to get a team like West Virginia to come play at home, you're still playing Rutgers and Ohio State. Like, you're not going to run that table. Now, Toledo does it the right way. You play one, bye game, and you get a good G5 team either away or at home, and you fill in the schedule that way. But for us, we kind of blew that this year. And I don't think the 1-point loss at Western is really an indictment. I don't think Tucker played very well. I think we're better than them.
Right.
I'd love to play them in a rematch. But at this point in time, not enough teams schedule like Toledo because their athletic programs are poor as hell.
They want money.
They need the freaking money. And we're in a spot that we don't really need to do so. Buffalo scheduled pretty easily. Minnesota was their only bye game. And then they go and lose to Troy and UConn. And so then Buffalo makes the conference look like crap as they sit at 2-0. And frankly, they're not nearly as good as I thought. So, it's a combination of, where you need the money in your athletic program to come from, and how good is your team on the field. There are 7 new coaches in the MAC this year out of 13. So, I'm not sure that we had really hopes beyond us or Ohio this year anyways, but there's always next year. And, as far as I've seen, this can be the best Toledo team I've seen in a very long time. We just got to do what we can do, control our own destiny, and let's get back to Detroit.
Sounds like a plan. So what do you think, fellas? Should we put a pumpkin and poo bow? Wait. Well, no. We can't do that.
We can stomp on the ground if we have a pumpkin and poo bow.
Yeah, we'd have to find one first to destroy it, but
True.
We can probably hit Rally House and find it. Anyways, let's put a midnight blue and gold bow on this bitch and call it a night.
Sounds like a winner to me on behalf of engineer, producer extraordinaire, the one, the only, Albert Smith. I'm Rocket Ryan, bring it.
I am PJ Spiller.
I'm Dan Rocket Man Savage.
I'm Nate, the Texas Rocket.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Go Rockets, beat BG. Have a great night, and remember, as we always sign off, feel well.
Yo.